Hello, my name is Laney Burns, and my research project is about male dancers wearing pointe shoes. I'll be showing you the interesting, yet limited, information that I have found. However, some of y'all may be wondering, well, what is a pointe shoe? Pointe shoes are made up of three elements: cardboard, fabric, and glue, and in some cases, plastic instead of cardboard. Ballet dancers wear these shoes to allow them to stand on top of their toes while dancing. This gives the audience the illusion that the dancer is lighter than air, floating across the stage. Ballerinas begin pointe work around the ages 11 to 13, or whenever their feet are strong and flexible enough to endure standing on top of their toes. When a dancer first receives a new pair of pointe shoes, they have to sew the ribbon and elastic on themselves and break in their new shoes to customize it to fit their feet like a sock. However, up until recently, these shoes were only worn by women. For several years, the profession of dance has debated male dancers on pointe. It has also been very challenging for men in pointe shoes to feel socially accepted. We will be looking at three different topics on male dancers in relation to pointe shoes. I will discuss why it is rare to see male dancers on pointe, the anatomy of the male dancer's foot in connection to pointe shoes, and who the professional male pointe dancers are today. Up until recently, it was socially unacceptable for men to play feminine roles and vice versa. During that time of gender stereotypes, women were the only prima ballerinas. This is not the only obstacle that men faced, though. The pointe shoes were only made for women's feet. As we have learned, in order to change the world, you must know the rules and be willing to suffer the consequences of breaking them. Thankfully, in many years, gender roles have changed, allowing men to be socially accepted to dance on pointe. In the book Fields in Motion by Dina Deva, she states that the ultimate symbol of femininity in dance, the pointe shoe, continues to infiltrate the soul of even the most spirited and feminist-minded young female dancer today. Male pointe dancers are not well known because for years the only male dancer that were in pointe shoes were used for comedy effects in shows. If males did wear pointe shoes in shows, it was typically to dress in drag or to play a feminine role. The idea of a male in pointe shoes was viewed and treated as a gender crossover and typically used to provide comic relief at the expense of the male dancer. This stigmatism of males having to play a feminine role in a drag ballet or being a masculine partner in traditional settings has been a hot topic lately. There are more males today that are trying to break these stereotypes and make male pointe dancing socially acceptable in society. Robert Vega, which you are seeing dancing here, is from Ballet 22, which is a school seeking to break the gender normative traditions by allowing all the dancers to dance on pointe. Vega was faced with this decision to pick one of those categories to perform in. This is important because this will open equal opportunities for all performers without having gender-specific roles in performances. These accepted changes will provide all genders with the opportunity to perform any type of dance they want to perform without fear of being socially exiled. Now, onto the anatomy of the male dancer's foot. The best way to understand a male pointe shoe I will be comparing them with a more well-known foot, the female pointe shoe. Obviously, males' feet differ from females' feet. A male's foot is typically wider at the ball of the foot, the instep, and the heel, whereas female's anatomy is typically narrow. The male's ankle bone, instep, and toes can be shorter. These differences cause the male to have less flexibility in the foot, whereas females' feet tend to be more flexible. Males' feet are also required to support more weight and body mass. These types of issues for males are really important to know and understand because the pointe shoe needs to be created to fit the foot perfectly, support the dancer, and be durable enough to dance in. Due to the limited amount of male pointe dancers, the shoe for males have lagged in their development. Males have had to try to make female pointe shoes work for them up until recently. The pointe shoe appears to have become gendered as feminine due to its continual utilization by women's bodies. In 2019, the Russian company called Siberian Swan released its first pointe shoe model that is specifically designed for male dancers. This is a major breakthrough for male dancers that would like to perform in pointe because now they have the proper equipment to perform in. Now, in order to tell you who the male pointe dancers are today, I need to back it up and give you the information of who was one of the first male pointe dancers. Navinsky was one of the first, and he was born in 1889 and danced at the Imperial Ballet School. He was a pioneer for male dancers on pointe. This was a major turning point in history of males on pointe because Navinsky was able to break the rules or the norms to come out and dance as a male pointe dancer. Along with many other brave souls, this opened the doors for the future males to be able to dance on pointe. A more recent professional male pointe dancer, which you see on your screen, is an 18-year-old dancer named Ashton Edwards. Edwards was accepted into the Pacific Northwest Ballet Professional Division Training Company in Seattle in 2019. He also attended college to learn to dance on pointe as a male ballet dancer. Edward and his college have made major strides for males that want to dance in pointe shoes because of their willingness to break the rules. The training and classes that had to be reconstructed to train males has been a major turning point in ballet. This adds to the topic of males being socially accepted as pointe dancers, which adds to more opportunities for male pointe shoe dancers to reach a professional level. Edwards, along with many others, are breaking down the gender restrictions that have been traditions for centuries. In conclusion, the world of pointe is beginning to open for males and take down the gender walls that have been in place for many years. The open-mindedness of today's society to not look at the gender of the dancer, but rather the dance itself, has introduced new opportunities for males to dance on pointe. With these new opportunities, the new technology and equipment of a pointe shoe has started to develop in ways to meet the male anatomy and strength so that males can perform at their best ability and have the same considerations as females. Pioneers like Navinsky and Edwards have been very influential in breaking down these barriers that have kept males out of the pointe dancing arena. My hope is that we as society will continue to look beyond the gender of an individual and continue to capitalize on the strengths and talents of the individual within and dance or performing roles. I suggest diving deeper into this research by interviewing first-hand accounts and male pointe shoe dancers to understand in what ways society's opinions have affected the professional dancers' lives. In what ways have they changed a piece of themselves in order to be accepted into the art world? Have they had to conform to the rules of society's acceptance just to do what they love? Stravinsky puts it best. Regardless of what the body under the tutu looks like, the body in the tutu can do the steps. Thank you.